Hey everybody, Jim Chester coming to you live from Scottsdale, Arizona. We are at the 41st annual CBP convention down here, and I had the opportunity of interviewing Dr. Alyssa Dennis, and you came all the way from
Atlanta.
And we're going to be talking about CBP, but before we do that, I want to say thank you to Deed Harrison for bringing us all together for this amazing weekend for research and understanding what's being done for the future of chiropractic and what's being done for chiropractic today.
Yeah.
So as we get into this, talk to us a little bit about CBP and what drew you to it.
Sure. Well, I actually grew up with a chiropractic dad, so I've been getting adjusted since I was a baby. And I loved so much about CBP, or chiropractic in general, just because it really helped me. I was a dancer growing up, so it helped me deal with sports injuries and staying in shape for that specifically. And then I also had a mom who had chronic pain. And so I saw that she went, unfortunately, down the route of taking a lot of painkillers and opioids, and I knew I wanted to be a doctor. I knew I wanted to help people, but I didn't want to be part of that. I wanted to be part of really helping people figure out the cause of the problem and addressing that and getting strong again in their own body so that it functions well. And I saw that chiropractic was a big part of that, a main part of that. And then specifically CBP, thankfully Dr. Pascal Breton, who is a CBP chiropractor up in Canada, was my classmate. And we got connected on doing a project together, and he was like, hey, I think you'd really be drawn to CBP. Let me show you some stuff. And I was like, wow. I had no clue. Like, it was almost like hidden in school. And when I got introduced into CBP, found out that I had a straight neck. And that's not normal. That's not normal physiologically, for spinal cord function, for nervous system health. But I had been getting adjusted since I was a kid. So, and I had a lot of issues as a result of that. I had headaches, I had, pain down my arms, I had weakness in my arms. And once I found CBP, I did it on myself, and I restored my cervical curve, and I literally never have any of those problems anymore. And so as a result, I'm stronger, and not only that, I'm healthier, I'm more confident, and that's something that I really wanted to share with people.
So not only did you fix yourself, but now you're fixing other people, and you're doing it on something that's very fundamental and research-based.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about that in a hot minute.
Sure.
But you're from Hotlanta, so I use that. but when we talk about finding the voice and being a woman chiropractor, what does that mean for you?
Well, in the chiropractic world, the ratio of women to men is low. And I think also the amount of women chiropractors that are really out, presenting and being part of the higher level conferences and seminars is even lower. I wanted to be a woman chiropractor that could help empower other women, and not necessarily take on the nurturing, quieter role that women may have, which obviously, if that's your thing, do that. But really be a strong woman chiropractor and be part of the research field. I mean, with CBP, women chiropractors in terms of that is, again, like a lot lower than compared to men. And so I saw a really huge opportunity to not only be part of that, but help push that on other people and really help get more women in CBP too, specifically, because it's important. It's important to have that balance and come from a different perspective.
Well, here's something that maybe our audience knows, maybe you guys don't know, but right now in chiropractic schools, 50% of the students now are women and 50% are men. So the counterparts are starting to balance out the future of chiropractic,
Definitely.
which I think is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But it's very important for people to know that the profession is getting stronger from the women's voice.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons I know that Deed wanted you to come interview with me today, so you could speak a little bit about what needs to be said from a woman's perspective for this CBP family.
Right.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you as we get into this is the research and the foundation of that, and how that is something that is helping really support x-ray in the profession as well. So let's talk about those two topics maybe together.
Sure, yeah. So when it comes to healthcare in general, you have to come from a perspective of what is the cause of the issue. So we know we have symptoms, we can have dysfunction, but we need to figure out where that's coming from. And when it comes to musculoskeletal issues specifically, you have to do further imaging in order to know where it's coming from. I mean, you can have back pain, for example, and it could be cancer. It could be, their bowels are backed up.
It just manifests.
Right, exactly. So when it comes to x-ray in chiropractic, it's so essential because even if someone isn't having symptoms, they could have a huge injury that you aren't aware of. And if you're just going in without knowing, then you can create more problems and not be fixing the issue. And then that can really lead to big problems down the road.
And one of the things I'm going to say is, like, if you do imaging, you can see when somebody's bowels are backed up too.
Right, yes, this is true. Patients definitely ask about that too. They're like, what are those? Well, it's gas.
And a lot of times when people, but a lot of times when people start getting adjusted regularly, that clears up their gastrointestinal issues because their nervous system's functioning at a higher tick rate, and their body's like, oh wow.
Right.
I feel like I've never felt before, and my body's like getting back to the balance of what it's supposed to be, and wow, my body loves me again.
Right. Yeah, and specifically too, like if you know exactly what their spine alignment is, then you'll be able to help them even that much more and be able to treat appropriately.
So it's like decoding the health of somebody and then offering an opportunity for them to actually, like you said, self-heal, but not only self-heal, but do it through the hands of a chiropractor. So I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
CBP research, let's close out on that.
Sure. Yeah, I think that, the way that the healthcare system is going right now, the leading people, the people that are creating the rules and the policies, they have research to back up why. And that's the bottom line. So that is why research is so important. And that's why x-ray in research is so important as well, because that's what's going to drive our profession forward, because it gives certainty, it gives clarification on what issues are. And so with the research that's coming out with CBP, they're really driving the profession. And I think, hopefully in the next few years or few decades, CBP will be the primary thing taught at chiropractic schools for that reason. And then it'll be able to make more of an impact on the healthcare community. More medical doctors will refer to chiropractors rather than, butting heads. More PTs will work with chiropractors, and it'll be a team referral relationship in the healthcare system rather than this back and forth fighting. Oh, chiropractors don't know what they're doing.
Well, I think what it does is it optimizes people's ability to have that one thing that we talk about as human potential. Like, I can think of so many athletes that ended careers early because they didn't have CBP in their life. If they would have had CBP in their life, we would still have so many of these elite athletes out there playing that get wrecked every weekend and every game.
Yeah, because if you have a weak spine and you're doing that kind of stuff, I mean, of course you're going to injure yourself.
And the injury goes to the weakest point in the body. So when somebody does actually break down and get a knee injury, or they break down and get a low back injury, or they break down and get an elbow injury, it's actually the injury goes to the limitations of matter. And so many times when people don't have that proper alignment and correction of the spine, we're going to get an injury somewhere. It's just, when does it happen? But if we could do a lot more preventative maintenance, like we were discussing off camera, like the eating part, the thinking part, and then the corrective part, we can actually optimize the future of somebody to have a better quality of life for many more years, as we don't have to grow old and age and feel crummy. We can grow older and age and feel amazing, and you can have a better quality of life long term. And that happens through specific chiropractic care. And that's what I love so much about chiropractic, number one, but number two, about what chiropractic biophysics does. And I just want to give everybody a preemptive here. If you want to find out more information, maybe for patient care, maybe for yourself, go to idealspine.com, and you can reach out and find any research that you need. You can find a place to send a patient to. You can find a way to educate educate yourself further with your chiropractic degree. So there's so much resource on idealspine.com, and I know Deed Harrison puts so much time and interest and money into that website to where it's always up to date. It's updated daily, so the content's always fresh. The research is always getting put out there as soon as it's hot off the press. So go to idealspine.com. And just check it out. Take the website for a test drive. Is there anything, Alyssa, that I didn't ask you that you'd like to share with our audience today?
Well, obviously, I just want to give a huge shout out to Deed Harrison and to the whole Ideal Spine team, CBP nonprofit that publishes all the research. They are really changing the healthcare field, and this is going to make a huge impact going forward. And I think everybody is just so grateful and thankful that we have these conferences and annuals that they put on, because it helps continue helping other people.
And that's one of the things I love about what we've done with Chiro Hustle and why we show up to events like this, because we want the event to live outside the four walls of this the seminar room. And I think it's so important that we share diversification in the voice of the chiropractor, so everybody knows that we're more alike than we are different. And even if you practice a certain way, we can all stand on one thing. We need x-ray and we need more research. And I know that that's what they're doing here with the chiropractic biophysics diplomate that they're getting people into, and they're teaching people how to change their practice so they can change more lives. And I think that that's so integral for what we're doing in chiropractic, so we can all start speaking the same language. And I think that as soon as we all start speaking the same language within this beautiful paradigm of what chiropractic is doing, we have a much more opportunity to reach more people and then get peer validation from other medical providers to know that what chiropractic is doing is changing people's lives, and this is why we're doing it, this is how we're doing it, and this is where the puck is going. So
heck yes. That was beautiful. Yeah, so I mean, you're totally right.
I'm going to tie it up with that and put a little bow on it. That's Chiro Hustle closing out today from Scottsdale, Arizona at the CBP 41st Annual. I'm going to hug this amazing woman.
Thank you, Jim. He's awesome.
And I'm going to close out by saying you're just one story away. Keep hustling. We'll see you guys in the next one.